Hello there, welcome back to another video. So I thought let's do a quick video about 4 or 5 fragrances which are extremely good or special for an occasion like Eid. So with Eid around the corner, I just thought let's do a quick video to talk to you about fragrance that might resonate very well with Eid celebrations and the kind of richness, the classiness that you would want to bring along with the a festival like that. And I thought let me just quickly present you a few fragrances. So on that note, let's get going. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this intro. Right, so welcome back. So the first fragrance let's talk about is from the house of Afia fragrances, and this one is called Persian Wood. Now Persian Wood for me is a fragrance that's got a good amount of saffron, it's got a good amount of rose, it's got a little bit of musky elements, it's got leather, it's got some metallic vibe, it's got a good amount of ambriness, it's got a good amount of powderiness, something that's more softer, gentler, milder, and at the same time talks about sophistication, and it's really nicely done. And this would be a really good addition to your celebration, to your attire, to your whole personality on Eid. And if you want something very classy, then definitely think about Persian Wood from the house of Afia. It's a very nice, dense kind of a fragrance, but at the same time, it's got that nice powderiness. It's got that nice honey, rose kind of a vibe as well, with a little bit of that leather in the base. It's a very good, rich kind of a feeling fragrance. It's a very soft kind of a scent, in my opinion, but it lasts longer. You will easily get about 7 to 8 hours from the lasting. And be careful about applying it on white clothes because the juice, as you see, is very dark. So you might want to apply it on skin, but it's really nice. It's extremely value for money, and you can check out the website of Afia to get a listing of this. This is called Persian Oud. The next one on this particular list is from the house of Almaham. It's a new launch from them. It's a private blend called as Eid Mania. Now this is a nice attar kind of a fragrance as well, in the sense to say it is called attar because I think the concentration is more than 50% on this one, and this is also a very good one. Now this is very oud heavy, in my opinion. This has got a good amount of oud, it's got a good amount of leather, it's got a good amount of slight amount of rose somewhere in the background. It kind of resonates with you as a very dense kind of a scent, something which is very rich, something which is very classy. And I feel that this will change notes. It goes from oud to leather in after some time, but the primary element of pear or something like a rose which is there at the back end plays really nice. In my way of reference to this particular fragrance would be to bring about something like ombre nomade and say oud satin mode mixed together, right? So you have the darker complex nature of ombre leather, and at the same time you have the jammy rosy oud type of a vibe that you kind of get from oud satin mode. That is the kind of blend that goes along with this. Although it's not sweet, it's more ambery, it's very nice, and I think this is a very good fragrance for you to add for your oud collection, or even for your gifting collection from the house of Almaham. This is Eid Mania that you can try. This is also got very good performance. I would say that this projects really good for about 2 to 2.5 hours time of projection. You get some very loud projection, more than 2.5 to 3 feet plus lasting is easy, about 8 to 9 hours time. Very nice. Towards the dry down you get a nice woody kind of a powdery kind of a vibe, but on the whole this is a fab fragrance to consider. This is Eid Mania from Almaham. Going on to next fragrance, we'll talk about Jantul Ferdos, and Jantul Ferdos is a very floral based kind of a fragrance, right? It's mostly a good fragrance that's got a lot of green floral notes, especially like jasmine and all of that. And this I have from the house of India Perfumers, and they are really good. It's a house from Kannauj which does a lot of good perfumery, India Perfumers, and this is one of their frags that I have. I have quite a few from them, but this one is like really classy because this one for me, it projects really loud and it really brings up a complex nature of perfumery. It's got this nice sweet texture to this, along with a lot of jasmine, that kind of element, a lot of green herbaceous notes as well. But on the whole, it brings very good complexities, brings something totally it's a fragrance that's very well known by in the ages, on the years, and people have had this for a long time. Jantul Ferdos is a very popular fragrance that way, and I feel this is a classy version of that. It's a really good one. You can check out the website of India Perfumers for their price and all of that. But in terms of lasting, I would say this will last to you about 6 hours or so roughly, and the projection is about good as well. So about 2 feet to 3 feet indicator of projection you get, but in the air it smells really nice and it smells very, very classy. If you're looking for a nice, a floral based, very good attar, then you can definitely consider India Perfumers Jantul Ferdos. Very refreshing, very, very nice. Next on this particular list is a recent launch from the house of Asan Hood. This is called as Lux Oud. Now I've done a full review of this particular attar as well, and I kind of like this a lot because a lot of the attars that are done from the house of Asan Hood are mostly Middle Eastern oriented fragrances with the good amount of rose, saffron, and leather, oud, and all of that. But on this particular fragrance, the inclusion of lemon is something that brings a very nice bittersweet opening, followed by a nice amount of spices with geranium and pink pepper and all of that. But this has also got leather, and it's also got Cambodian wood, which brings a lot of class, which brings that woody element to this particular fragrance. But the most important thing is this, although it's got a lot of dense notes on it, but feels very light in the air, and it projects really, really well as well. So it works well for about 2 to 3 feet and lasts for about 7 to 8 hours time. And the best part is this was created by Christian Provenzano, so a very good high quality attar. And just look at the juice color of this one as well. So again, very dense in the notes, in the embodiment of the fragrance, but in the air it's very light, it's very classy. You can definitely try this. So you should get this. This is Lux Oud from the house of Asan Hood. This is also one of the fragrances that I would like to recommend for Eid. Right, going forward, we'll get another one from the house of Bira. Okay, now this is called Rosewood. Now, Rosewood is a very good combination that you have in any kind of a celebration because it brings classic nature. So this is, for example, it's got rose and it's got oud, but the rose is sweet. It's got a talcum kind of nature. It's got a bit of lavender, that kind of powdery element to it. So the rose is not your typical sweet, very sweet, overly sweet type of fragrance at all. Here, I feel it's very high on woody elements, and then 30% is the rose, followed by a good amount of base of that talcum. So makes for a very complex, nice rose attar. At the same time, the woody nature of this particular fragrance is really, really good, and I feel this is very classy in its own way. And for Eid and celebrations, and especially close encounters, when you give a hug to a person or when you want to wish somebody, I think this is a kind of fragrance that people will actually like a lot on you than you kind of wanting to smell on yourself, right? So that way, this is a very, very good fragrance from the house of Bira. You can consider this. This is Rosewood. Again, the projection is good here. I would say soft scent about 2 feet plus and lasting about 5 to 6 hours time roughly. But you can definitely get a dual layering of this, and you can get it lasting for a little longer after that, after about 3 to 4 hours. If you can do another spray, or another layering, it will definitely go well. On apparel, of course, it will all last longer, so definitely no worries about that. So definitely consider this. This is Rosewood from the house of Bira Fragrances. So the last one on this particular list is a fragrance from the house of Afia again, and this is called Danel Oud Khaled. Okay, now this is, I think, fantastic, and I'm surprised how Danish buy of Afia Fragrances is able to give this high quality of ingredients for the kind of price point they bring. Now this is a fragrance that's got a good amount of animalic leather, it's got a good amount of oud, it's got a good amount of kind of sweetness because of rose or saffron, and a nice amount of character. It's got like that dense note that you want in a fragrance, the rich vibe that you want, and it brings leather as well. So it's got that very complex nature of things, but the way it smells is like superb, and the oud on this one is really, really nice, and it's surprising. Like I said, the quality of this attar is so good. I mean, all of them are really, really good, but I think this one, Afia's house quality for fragrances or note or the quality of ingredients is something superb. This is extremely good and lasts really long as well, does about 8 to 9 hours easily, and projects for about 2 to 3 feet. So it's a scent for somebody who wants to be very bold, very masculine, and at the same time, very brings a lot of ambriness into the fragrances, and at the same time brings a lot of spicy, classy element to the fragrance, to the body that you would want to carry. So in a way, it's really, really nice, high quality fragrances, I would say. So this one is something that you should definitely try. This is Danel Oud Khaled. Now all of them, you can try out their respective websites, and you can get the prices for all of them, and you can try it from them. So in my opinion, fragrances that have a good amount of rose, fragrances fragrances that have got a good amount of leather, amber, oud, saffron, incense. These make up for very good, festive celebration fragrances in my opinion, and I think this will really go well. So if this is the type of fragrance that you kind of like to wear for your celebrations, do let me know, and I know I'll happy to try and find out more fragrances, right? So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe and share, and if you like the special video, give us another heads up. Okay, thank you so much for watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Until another time, take care, bye now.